Okay. Hey, everybody. Just kind of a surprise. Like, I'm not going to be here very long. I just kind of wanted to jump on. I finished up, I was in San Diego the last couple of days, and I came down to something that's called the Evangelical Theological Society. And they have an annual meeting and conference every year. And this year it was down here in San Diego. So I got to come this time. And so I kind of wanted to give a kind of a quick thing about my thoughts and some things that I got to do and reflect on that just briefly and give you a quick channel update. And then I will be hopping back off. So we'll be here like 10 minutes or so. It's going to be really quick. So, yeah, so Evangelical Theological Society, called ETS, is a collection of scholars, professors, students, like masters and PhD level students, pastors, whatever, collection of people interested in having academic conversations about theology and the Bible. And so I belong to that. It's one avenue people have to do, like, publish academic papers and get together and present papers to each other. And it honestly is kind of like Comic-Con for Bible nerds is what it is. So for theology and Bible nerds, it's kind of like Comic-Con. And it was at the big, huge marquee Marriott Hotel in San Diego. And so they had this huge room set up, this huge, massive ballroom. They just had these big displays. They had a bunch of the publishers were there, like Zondervan was there, IVP was there, Baker Academic, and they had a bunch of really good deal sales on, ETS to 50% off books. So I got some really good books. I'm very excited about getting a chance to read those at some point eventually. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. Uh, and so, well, Roddy, it might not be as fun if you are into like sci-fi and Star Trek and that kind of stuff, Comic-Con, like sci-fi fantasy. But if you're a Bible nerd or a theology nerd, this is the place to go. So, and as I got to walk around, they also have displays from different, like, different ministries, seminaries, and PhD programs have representatives there. I talked to some really fantastic people. I spent some time talking to the NET Bible translation people, the New English translation. They have the best footnotes in the business. Love their Bible with their footnotes. I love their footnotes. They got great stuff. They'll in their footnotes they'll explain things like how they chose that word, what are some of the variants that happened in the text, um, options for translation. If you want to understand how translators make the decisions that they make, the NEP is the way to go. Their notes are fantastic. Love their stuff. Their it just so I got to talk to one of their reps. Fantastic. He gave me some free stuff. It was great. And so then I walked around a little bit more and I talked to this group called Bibliolingo. They really, really great people. They have an app that helps you if you want to learn the original biblical languages. So I think I'm going to be talking to them. Well, they were going to reach out to me because as I was talking to them about learning the original languages and questions that I get and whatever. So I've referred a couple people and sent them their direction for learning languages. So we may be working at some kind of like maybe affiliate deal where they, if you want to learn the original languages, and they'll give me a code that I can give to you, and you'll get a discount or something like that. I don't know. But it was just kind of a fun conversation that I got to talk to them about language learning and that kind of thing. So that was fun. I got to translation nerd out with them and had a conversation with a couple of PhD programs. That was really fun. looking at some options, and I still think I kind of know what I want to do, but it's always good to keep your options open. And had some more, spent some time talking to the people with Logos Bible Software. That was really fun. Got some answers to some questions. I really um, had fun talking to them. I got some questions answered. They fixed a couple of the problems I was having with my Logos, so that's all squared away. So it was really fun. I got to learn some stuff from them. Made some other connections um, with some people that I saw that I really thought would be fun to get to talk to. I went and I saw a presentation on a paper and a response on war and violence in the Bible, talking about Ezekiel 16. I am trying to track those women down and get copies of their papers because it they were fantastic, and I was so blown away that I loved both of what they said, the initial presenter and then the woman who did the rebuttal. And I was just like, this is fantastic stuff. And as I was sitting there, I'm just like, you know what, I can do that too. So that was totally amazing. And I um, got to, so I got to, I wish I would have gotten to talk to, especially the woman who did the rebuttal paper. I She really changed my mind about some things. So I'm going to go back and do. I want to do a video on Ezekiel, and I want to incorporate, the stuff that she talks about. I'm trying to track her down to get her paper and have a conversation with her. Maybe I'll bring her on if I can, talk her into it. Bring her on, have her talk about her paper about Ezekiel 16 and fantastic stuff. Um, and then I got to sit in and listen to a little bit of one paper that was talking about something about the New Testament, but that was boring, so I left. So I don't even remember what it was about. And then I was wandering around, and I did a lot of people watching, which was the funnest part of this. And there was a lot of things that I got to see. It was highly amusing. But I also got to see some people that, and there's two things that I was absolutely kicking myself over. So at one point I was sitting there just kind of watching people go by and enjoying, just watching everybody. And these two scholars that they're Messianic Jewish scholars who work at a Bible seminary in Israel, in Jerusalem, and um, I saw both of them together walk by, and I am still kicking myself that I didn't jump up and go introduce myself to them. And I looked for them the rest of the time, and I never saw them again, and I was so mad at myself. So they walked by, and I didn't get to talk to them, and that was my own fault for being a chicken. So, I lost out and learned an important, valuable lesson there. So, um, yeah, I missed out on those guys. I know, Roddy. It was. I was just sitting there. I could just almost hear Roddy in my head, like, "What the heck is the matter with you? Why did you go talk to them?" So, but I did get a chance to talk to. I can't remember her name. Her first name is Amber. I remember that because we have the same first name. But I saw her present a paper at Multnomah last year at some point when they were doing the ETS regional meeting. I saw her present there, and I loved what she did. So I got a chance to talk to her for a few minutes. I ran into somebody that I know from school from Multnomah, and she and I are going to connect when we get home and talk about what we did and the stuff we got to do. I got to meet Nick Quint. So Nick Quint and I got to hang out quite a bit. I got to meet his wife Allison. She is lovely. She is brilliant, and I think that at this point, I put up with Nick so that I can now be friends with Allison because Allison is fantastic, and I absolutely love her. Um, and I got to meet their son, and he is adorable, and I absolutely love him. He is like the cutest thing in the world. So that was a lot of fun hanging out with the Quint family. I got to meet a guy who is a pastor named Mike Davis. Fantastic guy. You guys will get to see um, uh, and get to meet Mike Davis hopefully soon, January, definitely February. I ran into and had met him through Nick, and he's fantastic. Loved it, loves him. Can't wait for you guys to meet him. We got a lot of fantastic stuff that we want to talk about together, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Um, and so we got that, and then I got invited to go hang out with some of the YouTube crowd Thursday night after all of the sessions and dinner stuff was ready or was done, and and so that was a lot of fun, and then hang on, sorry, and so I got to meet some people. So I guess a couple of them are out on Twitter. So it's I don't that's not name dropping because they're already out on Twitter. But I got to meet um, Nate Sala, who runs the Wise Disciple podcast. Um, he's interesting. He and I had a really interesting conversation. I got to meet Eric Hernandez and talk to him briefly. That was really interesting. He was a very short conversation, but it was fun. We had a good talk. I enjoyed talking to him. I got to meet and I can't remember all there. I met a lot of a lot of people for me because I'm not usually a very socially outgoing person. So I got to meet. I can't remember. I need Nick to remind me who it was. Um, so and then I got to sit and have a conversation with Leighton Flowers, which that was a lot of fun. So yes, Jamie, Leighton is very tall, as a matter of fact, and as to who is the tallest, I think of the group there that I talked to, it was either Leighton Flowers or it was the red line or the red ink, the red pen apologist guy. I can't remember his name, but and then I got to walk by and I didn't get directly introduced to, but I got to be in the presence of Mike Jones and Dr. David Wood. So unfortunately, they were rushing out as I was coming in. So I walked by them, but I didn't get to actually face to face talk to them, which was kind of disappointing. I kind of wanted to meet Mike Jones, but um, and then so Leighton and I had a really good conversation, and so there may or may not be an appearance by me at some point on Soteriology 101. I don't know. We'll see. Leighton has invited me on, so that might happen. That might not. Who knows? I'm not gonna worry about it too much until I actually show up on Soteriology 101. And I also got a chance to yeah. So that was really fun, and there was a couple other people, and I can't remember all of them because I met so many people so quickly there, but it was a blast, and I had a really good time. And that was thanks to Nick made that possible. He invited me along, so we had we had a good time, and So and then I get to spend a good part of this afternoon with the Quints again, and Nick and I went out to lunch, late dinner, early dinner. I don't know exactly. But anyway, so we went and got some really yummy Mexican food. That's the good part about visiting in San Diego because in the LA area, it's really good Mexican food everywhere you go. And hung out with them. So, and then I get to go to Nick's church tomorrow, and then Monday I get to fly home. So, having a really good time. I really needed this break. I didn't realize how stressed out I was. So, other big announcement, I guess, everything's not completely finalized yet, but we're a good way through the process. So I am transferring to Portland Seminary at George Fox University, and so that should be starting in January. definitely starting in the fall for sure. So that's been a big stressor, and that is in the process of almost being over. And it's also going to fix the problem of needing to do a defended thesis, because most PhD programs want to see that you've done that before they, you get admitted to a PhD program. And so that Portland State has that, or Portland Seminary has that. Multnomah doesn't do that anymore. So I am working on getting that taken care of. Hopefully that will start in January. They didn't think it would be a problem, so I'm not going to worry about it. It was a very difficult decision to make. It was a long process and a very, kind of stressful, painful process, but decision has been made, process has been put in place, so off we go. And let me see what else. And yeah, and then there's a couple things coming December 4th. I have coming out. We're going to be doing a video with myself, with Spencer Owen, who has a channel, Trauma Informed Church Kid, I think is what it's called. Anyway, Spencer's fantastic. He does a lot of work with engaging with faith in the Bible and recovering from spiritual abuse. So his podcast is fantastic. Great guy. I'm really excited to be able to bring him on the channel and introduce him to everybody. And Courtney Trotter, she is a biblical languages nerd and works with one of those online programs that will help teach you the biblical languages. And I cannot, off the top of my head right now, remember the name of it. So apologies for that. I will look it up and put it. But she'll be in there, and then Phil. I can't, for some reason today I'm having trouble with names. So anyway, Phil he has a YouTube channel. Leviticus is fun. I would highly recommend it. Everybody go watch it. Go sub Phil. I'll put the link in the description. It is not only hilarious, but it is really, really good information about Leviticus. So he does a great job going through verse by verse in the book. So we're gonna all come together, and on December 4th, we're gonna do an episode, Why Leviticus Matters. So I'm really excited about that, because that's gonna be fun. And I got a women in ministry video coming up with Nick Quient, Derek Wheeler, Michelle from Force of Light Entertainment, who also happens to be an ordained woman pastor. And then Jordan Ferrier, we're going to get together and talk about women in ministry and why that makes sense, and talk about how that, in the Old Testament and the New Testament, how that works, and the value of women. It's going to be really, I think, a really good conversation. And then I'm going to, on the 13th, which is next Friday, going to be on Faith Unaltered, and Tyler and I are going to talk about Fortnite and theology, and how you learn theology from playing Fortnite. So we're going to talk about that. That should be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to be dragging on a couple of friends, Troy and a couple of people. And hi, Stefan. I'm just kind of giving everybody an update. I went to the Evangelical Theological Society's annual meeting and conference. So I was kind of talking about that. Now I'm just kind of giving the channel rundown, and then I'm going to hop off because this is a pretty short video. But Troy's coming back. I'm going to drag Jamie on. He doesn't know yet, but Jamie's coming too. And hi, Sarap. Good to see you. It's always good to see Sarap. So Jamie's gonna come back, and Troy, and I'm gonna try to drag Tyler on as well. We're going to talk about who is Israel, because we didn't get to finish that conversation before. So we are going to have that conversation, and we're going to talk about who is Israel. And then in January and February, there's some really good stuff coming. I'm very excited. My new friend Mike Davis and I, and I'm going to try to, I got one or two more people in mind to try to bring in on that conversation. I'm going to talk about what do we do with an emotional God, because God in the Old Testament's got some pretty crazy emotions that come through. So what do we do with that? And so we're going to talk about that. Just some really good stuff I'm really excited about. And then we might have a big channel announcement coming. I don't know. That's going to depend on some other conversations coming up. We'll see. So stay tuned because there may be some big announcements about some stuff coming up. So that being said, I am going to just go ahead and wrap this up, and I'm going to jump back off. And so thanks everybody for stopping by. This, like I said, was just a quick one because this is updating you on ETS and getting to hang out with some collabs I have coming up, some stuff coming out on my channel, and school changes and announcements and stuff like that. So I will let you all get back to your Saturday evening, and I will see you all around in the pretty near future. So don't forget that every day we journey to dwell deeper in relationship with Yahweh, um, as our goal for what we're trying to do. And so thank you all for coming. I love you all and have a very blessed Saturday. And I hope you have a really restful weekend and see you at church tomorrow. All right. Goodbye.